Hi guys and welcome to another Waynesday episode. Today we are going to be doing
life insurance and wealth building.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell.
Happy Waynesday! How are you? How's everything going? Today I'm gonna go through something that I don't need much rehearsal for because this is one of the things that I really have been passionate about and understand, so I'm gonna zoom straight into this one. The thing I'm gonna talk about, I'm gonna use a whiteboard today, and I can't write backwards, so that's gonna be weird. I'll try to figure that out. But what I'm gonna try to do is go over why life insurance is your number one wealth building tool. Because a lot of people are worried about what's going on and what's their situation, all that stuff. They start thinking about these long-term plans. Great, you should have been thinking about that anyway on a regular day. But let's move past that, and I'm gonna start into life insurance. So, why do you need life insurance? So let's work on this. Here's a little picture. That's you. And a little smile. Awesome, I hope you can see that. My artwork is gonna send me millions. Ooh, so excited. All right, so that's you. And this is your assets. What are your assets? Savings account, your home, and maybe car. So your assets are going to be comprised of what you have: cash, which is whatever, savings, 401k, retirement plans, whatever. Maybe you have a car, maybe you have a couple of homes, rental properties, whatever it is. So what is that total? How much is that? All right, let's see. You have none of this. Okay, so you've got zero. Let's work with that scenario right now. And you've got a job. How much do you make? Well, let's say you make $50,000 a year. Okay. Here is where the two are linked. If you have assets and you have cash and you have money, then some would argue, and I'm a strong believer in this, how much life insurance you need is dependent on those factors. Let's say you have nothing. I'm gonna work with this scenario first because this is the simplest, easiest, and straightforward. I'm actually gonna teach you and give you some guidance on what the rules are for calculating your life insurance, how much you should have, why you should have that much. So this is going to cover that. By the way, a side note, this is 4 weeks of a beard that's going on the 1st. I'm shaving. I'm done with this. That's it. Corona challenge over. So you don't have anything saved, or you have very little. And we're talking about what is it you want to do? Well, you're going to work and you're going to have some sort of lifestyle. And at some point, you're going to stop working and you still want to have a certain lifestyle. What's that lifestyle going to look like? That's the first conversation really needs to have with yourself and your significant other. But basically what it's going to come down to is, are you going to... So sorry about that. Wardrobe change, and we're going to pick right back up. We had a little pet emergency in the house and we had to take care of that while I was recording. So that, and the fact that my daughter wanted to be part of the video, so she did an intro and an outro. You'll see that. You probably saw that in the beginning, and you'll see the outro in the end. So picking back up where I left off, what type of lifestyle do you want to have? Okay, we're going to retire. We're going to have X amount of dollars. How do we get there? And what do we do if we're not there yet? So, all right, we're talking about this. And I've got my stick man, and my stick man has no money saved right now because he's starting early in life and just working. So he's got a lot of bills and so forth. Now, why do you need life insurance? Well, you get life insurance to set yourself up. Here's what's going to happen. What is it going to take for you to retire and live that lifestyle that you want to live? So what we're doing is taking your current situation and looking at that. So you make 50,000. That's 50K. And you multiply that by 10. That's 500,000. That is the bare minimum that you should have in life insurance, given your situation. Maybe it's not affordable for you. So maybe you need to start off at half of that, 250, and then work your way up to having that. Now, here's what I do, and a lot of people don't understand what the amounts are for life insurance. So, if something happens to me before I get to save 500,000, I've got a life insurance policy. So, if something does happen, I can still make those plans. So, I can still get my daughter the wedding of her dreams, even though I'm not there. I can provide for my son, his first car, maybe a down payment on his house, maybe college, whatever situation that is. And if you're young and you're thinking, okay, this is not for me, all right, as you get older, life insurance gets more expensive. Right now, you're young, you're not making a lot of money, so it's the perfect time to have life insurance, because as you get older and you have all those other responsibilities, you have a target, you have a goal, you have a destination, and you're healthy. So it's the best time to get it because the rates are so low. You can get $1 million policy at age 21, and it'll cost you probably 5 or 10 times more by the time you're age 40 for $1 million policy. So why not get it when you're young, have it in place, taken care of? All right, now let's get back to these numbers. I'm looking at 500,000. Okay, that's great. Now I've got life insurance for 500,000. So now what? Well, life insurance is good if something happens. But now you've got your destination. You've got the points that you're trying to achieve. So this is where we talk about your wealth building. This is where you have a number, a financial number that will be your target, your destination. And what you need to do is have that target so that you can, and a plan that shows you how to get there. So with that being said, you would either save, put aside money, invest it, and then get to that destination. So life insurance ends up giving you the first conversation that most people don't have, which is, oh, I want to retire. I want to have a boat, sail around the world. Great, what's that cost? Well, I want to have a big yacht, and I want to have people, a crew, running it for me and bringing me food. Okay, that's going to cost a bit. And you put a number on that, and at least you have a destination. But it's not some weird, crazy dream that you have no target. And I'm telling you, if you have no target, you'll probably miss. So with that being said, the first conversation you should have is about your lifestyle. What is your lifestyle now? What will it look like in the future? If you have assets, let's go back to the first scenario. If you have assets and you're looking at, well, I've got 100,000 and I've got a $250,000 home and I owe 200,000 on it, and I've got a car that's not paid for. All right, well, you have no life insurance. So if something were to happen to you, you've got 100,000 to leave to the family, but you still owe 200 on the house. Well, that's not really going to help you much, and the car. So why not combine all of these and then give yourself life insurance? Again, working with that target. You need the target to say, all right, I need to have the house paid off at some point, and then I can lower my life insurance because now I don't have to cover that expense. It's paid off. No need for that. The car is paid off. And now the money that I've been building up Let's say my total here was 500,000. Again, let's work with that number. I had 100,000 cash. Once I turn this into 500, I can get rid of this life insurance policy because now I'm self-insured. That means I have enough money to take care of all the things that I need to. All right, and that's where you start growing this exponentially. I would love to have this conversation with anyone. It doesn't cost a thing. I like talking about this stuff because it is a conversation that no one ever had with me until I started seeking out these things for myself. So if you're curious and you've been wanting to find out more about it, I'm more than happy to share the information. If you think, well, you know what, I've got life insurance and I don't need that, well, here's the thing. You may have something, but it may not be good for you. And you may be spending a lot of money and wasting a lot of time that you could be building up that wealth that you're trying to get to, that destination. So if you do something like that, it's good to have someone to say, here's policy A, here's policy B, and here's what they look like. You compare. I'll give you the information. I'll educate you on what it is that you're looking at. And then you'll see for yourself which is the right path. But you have to have that knowledge. You have to know what it is that you're aiming for. Otherwise, you're out there, exposed. And I don't want that for anyone. This is part one of this scenario, this series. But we're talking about the most important part, which is life insurance, which encompasses that plan. And you need to have that plan in order to build that wealth, which leads you onto a road of financial freedom. I know people have abused and overused that terminology, but what is wrong with having a game plan? What is wrong with knowing the things that you're talking about, the things that you're spending money on? If you have a life insurance policy and you're paying for it, do you know what's inside? Do you know what the little fine print says and all the little things? Because I've had conversations with very good friends of mine. I'll tell you about one quick story. My very good friend, best friend, retired last year, and he's got no financial plan there. So what we decided was we'd have a conversation and financial plan. I'm talking about life insurance. He didn't have any life insurance. So we sat down, put together some plan, and put together a plan, and I explained it to him. And I said, look, here's what this is for. This is how this will work. This is your savings plan. This will replace your life insurance in this amount of time. And we've got a game plan, and we're moving forward. Well, January, we did the paperwork. February, he was approved. March. So when he found out that he was not feeling well and wasn't sure about his situation, one of the things that came to mind was, do I have my my stuff in order? Do I have my situation all squared away? And one thing that gave him comfort was knowing that this was taken care of. And yes, it was taken care of. So it's a peace of mind, and that's something you cannot put a price tag on. I'm so serious about it. If you know that A, B, and C are taken care of, you can proceed on to D, E, and F without hesitation. So this is a good thing for you to look at and address and take care of in your life. There's another situation. Another friend had a policy. We looked at the policy, and the investment portion of that policy was at about 0.2%. And the comment that he made was, I could do better than that. And that's absolutely 100% true. All right. Some of these policies have a savings plan built in. And let me tell you, it's seriously, if you were to keep that money in the bank they would probably do better than what this investment vehicle is putting your money in. So these are plans that really don't work for people because they only pay when you die or at 120 years. Some of those policies are written in, and this is something people don't read and don't look at and they're unaware of. So I'm here to educate you and tell you the information. I can read through any policy and say, well, this is what they mean by this, and this is what this covers. And if this were to happen to you in this scenario, they probably wouldn't pay, which to my law enforcement colleagues, a lot of you have policies, and a lot of you have policies that just won't cover you if you get injured on the job. So you really, really, really are gonna leave your family exposed, and it's not the right thing for you. Reach out to me and I'll explain everything, and then you can get on the right path knowing the information that you know now. All right? Anyway, friends, the outro is gonna come up, so thank you for indulging my little one. She loves it. She's my #1 fan. She always likes my video first, and she's subscribed. So she's awesome. Love it. Take care.
Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And we'll see you in another Waynesday episode. Bye-bye. Peace.